What's up, guys? B-Thriller here, also known as Robert Blanchard. I am the author of Roar of a Dragon, which will be published by Rowanvale Books. The release date will be announced soon. I did have another YouTube channel just for my writing stuff, but I thought combine it all into one and just keep everything solidified from now on. So you'll be seeing writing vlogs on this channel periodically. And today I just wanted to talk about 3 things that I have learned since I finished my book. Number one is how cool and how welcoming the writing industry is. I mean, I've made so many writing friends just after I got my book finished and got more and more engaged on social media with more writers, and they want to help you out, particularly indie writers. They reshare your stuff, they retweet your stuff on Twitter, they do all kinds of stuff, and it's just been a very welcoming community, and I am very appreciative of the help that I have gotten and the support that I've received from the writers that I have met, whether it was on Scriggler.com or Chanello.com or on Twitter or on Google+. I mean, the writing industry is just, we want to bring each other up, and I think it's a very positive community. It's really helped me out a lot in life as well, knowing that there's other people out there that they're basically in the same boat you are, and you help them, they'll help you, and it's just very heartwarming and very fulfilling, I think. Number 2 is the difference between traditional publishing and self-publishing, which is there's a very big difference here, and both have their positives and negatives. But in traditional writing is very, very difficult to get accepted in, and because literary agents get so many manuscripts and things like that, it's hard to be the one that breaks through the glass ceiling, I guess, so to speak. When I decided to self-publish my book, a lot of people asked me, why don't you try to find another way that's free, or why don't you, and a lot of the reason for that was because I didn't have the money to do it myself, to do self-publishing myself, so I had to enlist in a lot of help from my father. Thank goodness for him. But here's why. There is a major difference between traditional publishing and self-publishing, and one of the main things is, besides the fact that traditional publishing is very difficult to get into, basically what happens when you traditional publish is a literary agent picks up on your work and presents it to a publisher, and if the publisher thinks it's good enough, then they give you an advance, which is great. You might be expecting like a 7-figure advance, but it's probably more like 5 figures, probably more like $10,000, which again, a lot of people will be like, oh, $10,000, I could live off that. But from what I understand, if you get 3 payments in 1 year, that's considered really good, really fast. Usually it takes a lot longer than that, and of course it's an advance, so you don't earn another dime until you sold $10,000 worth of books, which is a very reasonable way of doing it for the traditional. I mean, they don't want to invest a whole lot of money in an unproven commodity, so that's the way they do it, and it's very much like the music industry. Really, it's the same thing. Self-publishing, you pay for it all yourself. You pay for the process of self-publishing. Outfits definitely have different packages that do different things. They do cover design, they do editing, they do marketing, and they do all that stuff. But you pay for basically what you get. Rowanvale Books has been amazing for me, so I have nothing but respect and praise to heap upon them. But basically, since you're paying for it yourself, you're basically cutting out the middleman. So when the book is done and it's ready to be published, you don't have to sell a certain amount of books in order to see your return. You start seeing that return pretty much right away. So that's one of the major differences. But both have, like I said, they'll both have their positive and negative traits, and it's just basically whatever works best for you. Number 3 is, once you finish the book, it's a major accomplishment, and I think it took me a while for it to sink in for me. At the same time, your work has just begun, because writing the book is actually the easy part. Now you're getting into editing and marketing and stuff like that, and editing involves reading your book however many times in a row it takes until it's ready to be presented in front of an audience, and it's very tedious and time consuming. And as a matter of fact, when I got my proof copy of The Roar of a Dragon, it was so amazing to see it in print, and I was like holding it, I'm like, oh my god, I worked so long for this. But I can't bring myself to read it, because I read it so many times in editing that I just can't do it. It's like, oh my god, I've seen these words so many times and I don't want to see them anymore. Yes, it was a lot like that, and yes, I may have cried, but don't judge me. But yeah, all you aspiring writers that are about to finish your books or you're working on it, whatever, once you finish the book, it is not over. Now you're beginning the real work, because writing for us it's a passion. We love it. It's not as much considered work as what an actual job might be. But now the actual job starts once you finish the book. Now you're getting into all this stuff, and it's very difficult sometimes. But you got to do it. You got to push through, and you got to keep going, because the rewards are there at the end. You just have to work hard for it, just like anything else in life. And that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more vlogs like this, or if you want to see some of the other stupid stuff I do on this channel. Like I said, The Roar of a Dragon will be out hopefully in a couple months. If you want to read the first three chapters, you can read it at BlanchardRobert72.wix.com/otherworlds. You can visit my Robert Blanchard author page on Facebook. There is also a Facebook page for The Roar of a Dragon. So if you want to visit it and like it, it would be awesome. You can also read some of my work on Scriggler.com, and you can also read my series on Chanillo.com called Hood, about a homeless teenager who fights crime in his city. I was also on a Scriggler podcast several months ago. It's on SoundCloud.com. It's episode 4. If you want to check that out, I'll leave the links in the description below. But thank you so much, and as always, it's Bobby's World, and you're all just living in it. CLC for life, y'all. Bye.